welcome back to Graceful Life with Sophia Christiaan. I'm so happy that you're here today because we're going to share an encouraging word from the Word of God, so stay tuned. All right, you guys, today we're going to be talking about how to stay free from the law. You know, many Christian churches still teach that Jesus Christ did not come to do away with the law, and therefore you have to keep all the Jewish traditions that are mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible in order to receive God's blessings. These traditions include keeping the Sabbath, practicing tithing, keeping the 10 Commandments, incorporating Old Testament rules and regulations, and of course, observing all the annual Jewish feasts and festivals. They say that the whole Bible is true, which is true, but that doesn't mean that the whole Bible applies to all New Covenant believers under grace. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What so many believers don't understand is that they are now under grace. So they listen to these false teachers who bring them back under bondage to the law of Moses and leading them away from grace. The Apostle Paul warned believers of going back under the law by observing the special days given to the Jews and to Israel. Look at what he said in Galatians 4:9. So now that you know God, or should I say now that God knows you, why do you want to go back again and become slaves once more to the weak and useless spiritual principles of this world? And in verse 10, he said, you are trying to earn favor with God by observing certain days or months or seasons or years. Do you spot the law mentality here? Earning favor with God by doing such and such traditions? In Galatians 5:1, Paul warned, so Christ has truly set us free. Now make sure that you stay free and don't get tied up again in slavery to the law. Paul was clear about the fact that he was no longer keeping any of the laws. In fact, he lived in total freedom from them, according to Galatians 4:12, where he said, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to live as I do in freedom from these things. For I have become like you Gentiles, free from those laws. He even said that people who keep the law cut themselves away from Christ. Look at that in Galatians 5:4. For if you are trying to make yourselves right with God by keeping the law, you have been cut off from Christ. You have fallen away from God's grace. So that's what it really means to fall from grace. About himself, Paul said that he had died to the idea of keeping all the requirements in the law, according to Galatians 2:19-21. Let's read that. So I died to the law. I stopped trying to meet all its requirements so that I might live for God. My old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. So I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not treat the grace of God as meaningless, for if keeping the law could make us right with God, then there was no need for Christ to die. If we truly believe that last sentence about there would be no need for Christ to die, or in other translations it says Christ died in vain, then we would take this new covenant stuff very seriously. So serious that we would refuse to have anything to do with any law keeping of any kind. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with this for today, and thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and follow and share these videos with a friend, not for me, but to bring the word out there. I pray you have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.